Hello, my name is Aurora Perez and this is my group project. I decided to investigate on Tru Fru. I am the group leader and my members are Bas and Renee. To start, in case you've never heard of Tru Fru, this brand sells chocolate-covered frozen fruit like strawberries and bananas. These snacks are ready to eat straight from the freezer, making them convenient for everyone. You can also find them nationwide at major retail stores such as Walmart and Costco. A consumer reported a possible safety issue with Tru Fru products, noting a risk of metal contamination in certain batches. The manufacturer immediately notified the brand, and the recallers affected two varieties of the chocolate-covered freeze-dried strawberries. Thankfully, no injuries or illnesses have been reported so far. Moving on, I'm going to explain the details of the physical hazard that happened in Tru Fru. To begin, the physical hazard was sharp pieces of metal in the food. It likely came from a broken or worn out equipment in the factory, like a blade or machine part. It could also be a small piece of metal left behind during maintenance. This is severely dangerous because metal in the food is very risky and it can make someone choke and cut inside of your mouth, throat, or stomach. It can also break teeth, and in the worst case scenario, it could even poke a hole in the digestive tract, which is a serious medical emergency. That's why even a small piece of metal in food is a big safety issue. Now I'm going to explain why this product is a special risk. First, the texture of freeze-dried fruit is very light and crispy, so you wouldn't feel a small piece before biting into it. Second, the product has no cooking step. This isn't cooked, so if metal gets in, it stays there until someone eats it. And thirdly, the snack is eaten by hand, which means people put it straight into their mouths, making it more likely they'll suddenly bite down on the metal. Next, this is how we're supposed to be preventative. Manufacturers usually use metal detectors or x-ray machines on the product line to catch and remove any product that has metal in it. They also have to regularly check and maintain their equipment so parts don't break off during production. To begin with, the recall started after a consumer reported possible metal in the product. Following that, the third-party manufacturer, Georgia Nut Company, voluntarily began the recall as a precaution. Soon after that, the brand made a public announcement in September 26, 2025, and later the FDA posted the recall on September 29, 2025 for oversight. In addition, the company shared clear product details, including the exact product names and lots of codes so consumers could easily track if theirs was affected. They also gave direct instructions telling people to check the code and not to eat the product if matched. Meanwhile, major retailers like Kroger and Target were notified so they could remove the items from the shelves immediately. Overall, the recall was a preventative and transparent safety step, and at the time, no illnesses have been reported. The issue involved a physical hazard, a metal contamination rather than a biological or chemical one. This type of hazard causes immediate injuries. To prevent this, manufacturers use metal detectors and x-ray systems to spot foreign objects before packaging. They also depend on regular equipment maintenance to stop machine parts from breaking off into food. These safety steps are required under the FDA's Preventative Control Rule, which mandates hazard analysis strong, proven controls. Metal contamination continues to be a common issue in many processed foods. We've seen several recent examples that show this. For instance, in October 2025, the company had to recall chicken products because the metal pieces were found. And earlier in March 2024, an article reported metal contamination in cinnamon and other spices. These cases show that metal contamination isn't rare. It's something that keeps happening across different types of foods, which is why strong safety controls are so important. Metal in food creates an immediate physical danger like cuts, choking, or internal injury. It doesn't cause food poisoning, but the harm can still be serious and many can require medical care. Some people are even at higher risk. Children, older adults, and people who have trouble swallowing are more likely to be seriously hurt by a physical hazard like this. The same piece of metal that might give one person a small cut can cause major harm to someone in these vulnerable groups. Finally, the recalls like this also affect consumers' trust. When something this dangerous slips through, it damages the brand's reputation and makes people question the safety of similarly ready-to-eat snacks in general. Recalls are expensive and disruptive. Companies lose products, handle logistics, and face many fines. Retailers deal with refunds and lost sales, while brands can suffer long-term reputational damage. The whole industry often faces stricter safety rules and higher costs.
This information was really descriptive, and I feel like I understand a lot more about food safety now. I didn't realize how easily something dangerous like metal can end up in snacks like Tru Fru. I also learned about safety steps like metal detectors and equipment checks, and how recalls act as a last line of defense when those fail. Metal contamination isn't just a problem for one brand. Recalls can also be really expensive, affecting the company, the stores that sell the products, and even the whole industry with stricter rules and higher costs. I feel much more aware now and will definitely pay closer attention to what I eat and recall notices.
I had no idea something like this could happen so easily. I always thought that snacks from big stores like Walmart or Costco were completely safe. Hearing that some batches had metal in them really scared me. And these snacks are crispy and ready to eat, so you wouldn't even feel it before biting. I learned that recalls happen fast and companies give clear instructions, but sometimes hazards still slip through. And it's not just True Food. Other foods like chicken and spices have had metal contamination too. This really makes me think about checking what my kids eat and paying attention to recall notices. I knew safety mattered, but now I really see how easy it is for something dangerous to sneak in.
Thank you for listening to my presentation.